Another video, another baseball video. I View Sports. That's what we're going to talk about. Of course, you was looking for it. Who doesn't want to hear about baseball? Everybody does. Yeah, I know you do. So, anyways, we're going to talk about series preview of the Cubs versus the Milwaukee Brewers. We get the Highway Series. Two teams that's less than 2 hours. Well, depending on how you drive and your traffic, 2 hours away from each other. So I point that out because a lot of times when the Cubs play in Milwaukee, which is where they're starting this series, there is no home field advantage. A lot of Cubs fans. So this is kind of a series that doesn't help Milwaukee have the home field advantage because a lot of Cubs fans are in Milwaukee or will drive up there. So you kind of get a neutral state. But to get more into the series, so the Cubs did beat the San Diego Padres, beat them in the best of 3 series. It's weird to say. 2 games to win a series is weird. Still getting adjusted to this baseball playoff format. It changes, feels like every other year. But yeah, Cubs did survive that series. I'm not going to say survive. Cubs did what they had to do to win that series. And now they're getting to play the best team in baseball record-wise. And with Milwaukee, you do have, like I said, the best record. You don't have world beaters with offense. You're kind of getting what you got against the Padres, which is people that can hit the ball. You have a few hitters, but you're not dealing with a lineup that's dangerous like the Dodgers or Philly, where you're gonna have to deal with the whole lineup. It's spots, guys you could pitch around, just certain, I guess we could say certain guys that you can avoid if you needed to. And I think, once again, that helps in the Cubs' favor because of all the injuries of pitching and just the lack of arms that they have and the inconsistency lately. It helps a team that doesn't have to deal with a strong lineup opposed to Philly and the Dodgers, but those teams are kind of more balanced than each other. And I expect them to murk each other. That's going to be an ugly series. But anyways, Milwaukee, you do have the best record. Freddie's going to start it off. You don't have Woodruff. He's out for the series, so that's a blow. And the thing about Milwaukee is they play small ball. They don't need the home run, so it really doesn't matter. They can kill you 1,000 ways, single, double, get on base, bunt the runner over, sac fly. That's how they operate. And that's just what you're going to get with them. And you can't let them get in the groove of beating you with 11 hits and no home runs, because it's a thing that can happen with this team. And you just have to watch out for that because they get in a groove and they don't need home runs to get energized. That's just not the team they are, which a lot of teams, the rest of the teams with the Cubs, the Dodgers, and the Philly, they get boosted off of that. Milwaukee doesn't. So you could lose a game against them with them scoring just singles and doubles. And that's just what that could be. Pitching is not world dominant, but it has been top in the league. ERA, strikeouts, I mean, you're really not going to get a lot. I think if you get past Freddie, of course, it gets better for you. Boyd will take the mound in his first game. He did pretty good in his first game against the Padres. At least 5 innings. I think that's what you're looking for at this point. You're probably looking for 5 or 6. And the bullpen for the Cubs, if you can do what you did against the Padres, I think you'll be fine. But the bullpen, the defense, the starting pitching really wasn't a problem. It wasn't much offense with the Cubs. I think that will improve in this series because this is a team that you are accustomed to. I mean, you did win the season series 7-6. That's not saying much, but this is a team in your division that you're used to. It's really not nothing that they're probably not going to do nothing that you haven't seen already. I think the Cubs are on a roll with their defense and their pitching, and I think the offense is going to open up more. Kyle Tucker, he looked a little sluggish, but he did get a few hits in that last game. PCA, he's laying off of making contact and just putting the ball in play and then working his way on the bases. That's what you need from him. Suzuki looked good. you might have to move Hap. I don't think he can sit in that third spot. It's just not gonna help. But it just seems like a thing. Where do you put Hap? You can't take him off the field. So I don't know. Hopefully Hap. I thought we talked about this. I thought you was gonna stay hot until the end of the World Series. Thought you was gonna keep that momentum going. I didn't expect you to cool off so quick, but maybe he'll see this video and he'll snap back in his mind. He'll get that together. So I appreciate you in advance, big bro. Hap is a good dude. Anyways, with the Cubs, I'm really believing that they can take this series. And it's not just saying that as a Cubs fan. I really think they got battle tested by dealing with the best bullpen in the majors in San Diego. And those guys were throwing heat. All of them came in throwing 100 plus. I mean, if you can battle Mason Miller and Suarez, I mean, I think you really don't have nowhere to go but down. There's no bullpen better than San Diego's. There's nobody with more closers than Suarez. And just getting to him a little bit, I think that'll help you in the next series because you won't see another bullpen like that. And who wants to see a bullpen like that? That's a dangerous situation they built. But it just didn't work out for Padres, and I think that'll help the Cubs because you're dealing with a team that you know. I mean, I'm not going to say that Counsell, being their former manager, is going to give them any insight, but he does know how they work over there. This is a team you know in your division, and they don't have pitching nowhere near as good as the team that you just played bullpen-wise. So if you can get to that starters early, I think you can get it going. And I think with the Cubs, you know what Milwaukee likes to do. They know what you like to do, and you basically just have to play smart. You can't get into the we just want to beat them because they're in our division. You just have to play the small ball. And if it has to be a win, 3-1, 4-2, so be it. I think you just have to put emotions aside because I know everybody wants Milwaukee to be destroyed because these are division rivals, but they are the best team record-wise in baseball, and you got to give them respect at some kind of point. I think the Cubs are going to take this, and to be honest, I don't think this will be a struggle, to be honest. Milwaukee cooled off a lot towards the end of the year. You can't keep running multiple win streaks like they did, and I just don't see them being too much of a threat. Maybe the time off didn't help them, and I just don't see this being the best matchup for them. They probably would have benefited better playing somebody like the Dodgers, but a team that knows you well and they know what you like to do and they know what to do against that, it's really not going to help you. And I think the Cubs are riding on a wave. I think they're picking up momentum as they go through these playoffs because a lot of these guys, this was their first go around. And I think as Kyle Tucker gets more healthy, he's going to start to get hot and show you why you traded for him. I believe this is his time to show what that's about because it is contract year. Who doesn't want to get paid? So I'm going to say the Cubs is going to win this series in 5. I know it was shocking, right? You thought I was going to say Milwaukee, but no, the Cubs are going to take it. Now, where they go from there, we'll talk about that in another video. But I do believe the Cubs will have enough to win this division. I don't believe the home field makes a difference when half of the crowd is probably going to be Chicago Cubs fans. So you kind of lose a lot, Milwaukee, in this instance. If it was somebody else, maybe, but not against the Cubs. So you're giving the Cubs basically more than 2 home games. They're getting almost it's going to feel like a home game every game, just in a different stadium. And that's crazy to say, but that's how it is when the Cubs and Milwaukee play. So I'm going with the Cubs in 5. Milwaukee will not go down lightly because it's just not that team, but I think the Cubs will pull it out. And on top of that, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I'll catch you on the next one.